What movie death scene is seared into your memory? That poor guy who gets his heart ripped out by Thuges and sent into lava in Temple of Doom always got me as a kid. Still pretty memorable. Someone must have left that movie on when I was really young, because I still vividly remember having nightmares about it when I was in kindergarten. The man and woman in Titanic that lay in bed together as the water starts rising in the room. And the mother who reads to her children. Probably this guy in Black Hawk Down. So he was in this convoy truck and it got blown up by an RPG. Then one of the soldiers picked up his hand, then saw the guy dying with half his body blown off. His last words? "Tell my girls it'll be okay." I saw that scene when I was a kid and it never left my head. For me it was Corporal Jamie Smith while he bled out because they couldn't clamp his leg artery. Edit, I finally fixed my grammar. That artery scene is tattooed onto my brain. The scene in Bone Tomahawk where they rip the guy in half. This duck-in scene. I hate it, that it haunts me and interrupts my thoughts every once in a while. I'd be thinking about work, my kids, planning stuff, wishbone scene, and my duck-in day is ruined. Same. It will intrude on my thoughts from time to time too. Plus I always think about the pregnant women who they have blinded and cut off their limbs to just be birthing vessels. My question is though, who cares for and feeds the infant children? Seems dumb to do this to the women. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it to distract from that other scene, haha. Final Destination 2. Log truck scene. I'm still afraid to drive behind a log truck or truck carrying pipes or construction bars. When the shark kills Quentin Jaws. This is mine. Probably because I was 11 and watching it in a packed theater. The whole experience is still a vivid memory. That movie blew people away. Robocop buddy gets covered with toxic waste and then gets hit by a car and explodes like a water balloon. Edit. Syntax edit 2. Murphy's death was hard to watch for sure. Poor bastard. But I could never get the vision of the windshield go out of my head. I'm also surprised to see Robocop so low, but this wasn't the death that's seared in, it's the guy in the beginning that is mercilessly gunned down by a 209. The panic on the man as he tried to run and everyone pushing him away only to be turned to red Swiss cheese. I was 7 when I saw that. Still the one scene in Robocop I turn away for a second. The six-fingered man in The Princess Bride. I want my father back, you son of a bitch. Apostrophe. Bittersweet fact. Mandy Patinkin's father passed away from cancer a few years before they filmed the movie. Has said in interviews that he knew he wanted to play Inigo Montoya when he saw the script because he felt like if he could kill the man that killed his father, then it would be like killing the cancer that killed his father. He says that he didn't care about if the movie became popular or anything. He just wanted to be that character killing that man so he could get his dad back in his imagination. For additional feels, here's a collage of him telling that story. Link. imga.com/Clarkn. JPG. The Princess Bride was one of my dad's favorite movies and I haven't been able to watch it since he died. It's been 2 years and IDK if I will ever be ready for that scene. Hereditary. The car crash. The way he just goes home and goes straight to bed. Chilling. The way he just lays there with his eyes open all night. I don't want to imagine what thoughts were spinning through his mind as he lay there for hours. Then hearing his parents wake up but not knowing what to tell them. Then hearing his mom go out to the car knowing what is waiting for her. That whole scene is so stressful on so many levels. In Silence of the Lambs, when Hannibal gets a hold of the guard in his cage cell and starts biting his face. 9-year-old me was not ready for that. And I was less ready to hear my mom start laughing hysterically at the scene. I guess she just found it absurd. 9-year-old me was not ready for that. Was 9-year-old you ready for Buffalo Bill to talk about getting ducked in the mirror? It ducked me so hard. When they crush Piggy in Lord of the Flies, I was probably too young to watch. Also, the scientist who gets killed in the elevator in Damien, the Omen second. I remember when I read The Lord of the Flies, and I felt so bad for poor Simon. Yeah, reading about it was bad enough. I wouldn't want to watch it. Leo's death in The Departed. I was so unprepared. When Mark Wahlberg is waiting in the apartment wearing gloves and booties over his shoes. It's so satisfying. Artax. Don't you start. The shoe in Roger Rabbit. How about the steamroller scene? That movie was packed to the brim with traumatic whimsy. When I killed your brother, I talked just like this. / eyes turn into daggers / That scene still gives me the creeps. Love the movie though. For movies Brooks was here. For TV it's the snake pit in Vikings and the kitchen sink / fork in Sons of Anarchy. Man, I scrolled so far to find this answer. Shawshank is maybe my favorite movie. That scene gets me every time. Thomas from My Girl. Macaulay Culkin. Link. youtube.com/watch v=izdx7bvz Doug link. youtube.com/watch v=izdx7bvz Doug. Oh my god, yes. He needs his glasses. He can't see without his glasses. == The baby gorilla in the animated Tarzan. What the hell? Disney? That whole movie had a lot of death. Clayton's death at the end was really dark. Didn't notice the shadow of his hanging corpse as a kid. I was too focused on the machete. Also didn't notice that you can see Tarzan's parents' corpses. No question. The scene in Casino where Joe Pesci watches his brother get beaten to death with aluminum baseball bats. The pinging sound haunts me to this day. And that was a true story. Right down to the dirt in the respiratory tract from being buried alive. Jesus. I know the film was based on a true story, but I didn't know that about the scene. Makes it so much worse. Thanks for the nightmare fuel fun fact. Haha. The Green Mile. The whole thing. Even down to the damn mouse. That movie was the first that ever made me cry and broke through my depression. No film will ever overwrite that one. I don't think I've ever seen the movie, but I absolutely love the book. Eva Green's character drowning in Casino Royale. Having James Bond watching her as she about to drown horribly has always stuck with me. I truly think this is the best Bond film. Such a well-made piece of film that makes you feel for the characters. An incredible soundtrack score, brilliant to listen to by itself, and opening title, which can make you feel a mix of emotions. The ending still gets to me, even after I saw it when it originally came out. The plot of this is so well done. As well. After watching this link, b/y_b4@GHKiss analysis, it really shows how great of a film it is. Great share. Best Bond tune. By a mile. But then it is Chris Cornell. The one secretary lady from Jurassic World. All she wanted was to plan her wedding and not drag around to snotty brats all day. I saw it described once as death porn. I barely even remember what happened. I just remember being appalled by how long it dragged on. Long live the king. No. Simba nudges Mufasa. Dad, come on. You gotta get up. Dad, we gotta go home. In a panicky yelp. Somebody, quiet or anybody. Tears roll down the cub's face. Help. Returning to his father's lifeless body, he crawls under Mufasa's paw and buries his face. Still weeping. In the dust still rising from the stampede, a dark figure appears. It is Scar. Simba, what have you done? 1917. When Lance Corporal Blake gets stabbed by the enemy he was trying to help after a plane crash. And then his best friend has to watch him bleed out and later tell Blake's brother about his death. Awful. That scene is incredible. You can see his face starting to get flush from the blood leaving his body. At the end it's stark white. I just watched this movie like 2 weeks ago. Holy cow. What a ride. How do you even make an actor go pale like that? Curb Stomp from American History's Edit. If you come across this comment and haven't seen the film then I request you to see it. It's definitely one of the best movie on racism and shows really well that what blind hatred can do to yourself. The sound of the teeth on the curb. Open bracket. I never understood what a curb stomp really was until that moment. It stuck my head too. Ghost ship. A cable sweeps through a dance floor so fast and sharp it slices people in half. This will always be in my memory. Wasn't the captain dancing with the little girl, and she watches as his head falls apart. He kind of gets sliced diagonally, and she is too short to get cut by the cable. I watched this movie a bunch of times. I'm not sure why. Edit, I may be misremembering. I do think one of them got the head slice, but now I'm questioning if it was the captain. Drew Barrymore hanging from a tree, with the camera zooming in, to start Scream. Her parents finding her body made it more heartbreaking too, especially hearing her mom scream out and collapse. I actually pulled up on a fatal accident blocking off the outside of my neighborhood a few weeks ago. Young 19-year-old kid who had been drinking slammed into a tree and was ejected from the car, body in an unmistakably dead position, still letting out death rattles while waiting for the scene to clear so I could go home and cry myself to sleep. His parents pulled up. He'll never forget her begging God and Jesus to let it not be true. Dad just stone-faced. I haven't slept right without sedatives since. Edit, you guys are a bunch of sweethearts. I really appreciate all the kind words and advice. I'm already in therapy for a previous PTSD diagnosis, so we are just temporarily shifting the focus to dealing with this new trauma. But thank you also very much for showing me how kind people can be to strangers on the internet. Wash, Serenity. Shepherd book. His last bit was just watching the people he cared for be miserable while he was in incredible pain. I don't care what you believe. Just believe. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily Reddit videos.